Qi Gong is an ancient Chinese therapeutic practice that helps us to discover harmony within the whole body and the whole self, including our energetic system, also known as our Qi system. So it is a predominantly standing practice, but we do lie down towards the end. So if you need to adjust your space for that, please do so. And we'll crack in, shall we? So standing up with our feet under our hips. Beautiful. We're just going to go on a little shake, keeping our heels on the ground, and having a little gentle bounce through the knees. And throughout this practice, I really encourage you to let out breath on whether that be a sigh or on your breath or your voice, as it just tells your nervous system that everything's okay. And when we're trying new things, that's always a good idea. And just allowing this gentle shake here to bring you into your body, into the present moment, into our practice together. Opening through the feet to the earth underneath you. You can lift the toes, give them a stretch, give them a wiggle if that feels good for you. Sorry you can't see mine. And opening through the crown of the head to the skies above. I will make lots of silly noises, such as that one. So feel free to do them too, if you're comfortable to do so in your own home. Let's bring one hand onto our lower belly and one hand onto the back of our pelvis. And we're still shaking. And here we are shaking with what we call our lower dantian, or our lower field of bliss, and it's a sphere of energy that encapsulates our pelvis. So as we shake from this place, we're letting go of any excess tension we may be holding in our lower back, in the muscles of our thighs and our buttocks. Letting go through the tendons and the ligaments. Hello. Surrounding our hip joints. We're just having a little shake. And feel free to stand and join us. Swap the hands over. Letting go of any excess tension we may be holding in the organs of this space. And if you're not used to checking in with your organs, you don't have to do anything special. Just think about them. Take your awareness to these places. So we're going to let go through the intestines, the bladder, the reproductive organs. And let's swap our hands up to the solar plexus and the mid-back. And as we shake from the central part of us, we're letting go of any excess tension we may be holding in our mid-back, in our abdominals. They run vertically and horizontally. And and letting go through the solar plexus itself. Swap the hands over. Letting go of unnecessary tension here in the organs of this face, the stomach, the spleen, pancreas, liver and gallbladder, kidneys towards the back. And swapping the hands up to the heart. Back hand can just go up as high as comfortable for you. Letting go here through the muscles of the upper back, across the chest, the shoulders, up into the neck and face, particularly the jaw, the root of the tongue, and the brow. And swapping the hands over. Letting go of excess tension in the lungs and the muscles between each rib. Letting go through the diaphragm at the base of your lungs. The pericardium, that protective layer around your heart. And letting go through the heart itself. And let's drop our hands to our sides and take a little fold forward, letting go through the back of the neck. And coming back up to center slowly and over to one side and the other side. And coming back into the center. And if you like, you can stay with these little shakes, or you can go for some big ones where your heels come off the ground and really allow yourself to land quite heavy here. This heavy landing is really good for our bone density and also our immune system. By jostling our cells about, we can help them release any of those toxins that are not needed in our body. And when you're ready, coming into stillness, or what we call Wei Qi. And I invite you to close down your eyes or keep your gaze low and soft. And let's just take a moment here to tune in with our physical body. Noticing any sensations that are present here within our internal landscape. Perhaps you can feel the shake still reverberating through your muscles. Or maybe there's a sense of contraction or expansion somewhere within you. Noticing what's alive in you in this moment, without attaching any morality or judgment to these sensations. They are neither good nor bad. They just are. And now I invite you to widen your awareness to the space just beyond your skin, also known as your Qi field. It's a vibrational, energetic space created by the beat of your own heart. It can extend up to 6 feet away from you. What's alive in this space? What do you notice here? Maybe it's a certain color or a texture, or maybe there's a certain movement quality to it. Or maybe you don't feel very much at all. It's totally fine. Noticing nothing is still noticing something. And the more we tune in with this part of ourselves, the more aware of it we become. And gently letting that go, you can open your eyes. We're going to do some tasseling now. So the movement starts in the pelvis, going side to side, and the arms go along for the ride. Allowing our breath to flow however it likes here. As we get that nice rotation through the spine, and a gentle little massage for our organs with every twist. Slowly allowing this movement to come to a natural stop. Allowing your body to return to some sort of equilibrium. Beautiful. Alrighty, we're going to warm up through our joints now and open up through what we call our Qi gates. So we're going to circle through the ankle. Here's mine. But you don't have to lift your leg that high and look like a clown. You can just keep yours down in front of you. You can even put your toe on the ground and circle it from there. Let's change direction. And give that foot a little shake. Beautiful. Let's go for the other foot. Other way. And give that foot a little shake. Beautiful. Let's bring our feet together as close as we can. Hands on our knees. We're going to circle through the knees. And I invite you to put a little smile on your face and send that smile to your knees. Our knees often get a bad rap, especially if they're musical like mine. Let's go the other way. And letting that go, bringing our feet back under our hips, hands on our hips, little hip circles. And really softening through the jaw here. Give it a stretch, give it a wiggle if that feels good for you. hips and jaw are related. If there's tension in one, there's usually tension in the other. So 2 birds, 1 bird feeder. Let's go the other direction. And letting that go, let's take our feet a little bit wider. Fingertips to the hip crease, or the Qi, as we call it in Qi Gong, and go for a few bigger hip circles. Really feeling into the edges of that hip joint. And once again, softening through the jaw, more stretching, more wiggling if it feels good for you. Other way. And letting that go. Let's shake out the whole leg from the hip down to the toes. Other leg. And bringing our feet back under our hips, lower body joints nice and soft. Dancing is optional but encouraged. We're going to shake out through our hands and take our awareness into all of our fingertips at once. And if you need a little bit of help with that, you can just give them each a press. And shaking out through the whole hand, the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, really letting go of any of that energetic debris that can get lodged in between all the little nooks and crannies of our hands through our very tactile lives. And shaking out through the wrists. You can be as vigorous or as gentle with this as you like. Forearms. There's also no right or wrong way to do this, so just do whatever feels good. Elbows. Shake out from your elbows. Upper arms. Shoulders. Bring them in. Shoulder blades. And behind the heart. In 3, 2, 1, let it go. Oh, good work, everyone. That one always gets me. Let's circle the wrists. Keeping those lower body joints nice and soft. Other way. Do some circles with the forearms, opening up through the elbow. Change direction. And let's take some big circles with the arms, opening through the shoulder. And let's go the other way. And letting that go. Let's do a few little shoulder rolls, easing those shoulder blades down your back. And you can have a little play with going forward, doing one at a time in either direction, just feeling into what your shoulders need in this moment and honoring that. And letting it go. Coming up to the head and neck, once again feeling into what your head and neck needs. So it might be little arcs, little circles, side to side, whatever feels good. Keeping it gentle, keeping it easeful. It's okay for your mouth to hang a little bit open. You're ready, coming back into the center. Dropping your ear to your shoulder, getting that nice stretch through the side of the neck. Opposite hand out if you want it to go a little deeper. You can even wriggle the fingers on the end of that hand there, see how that feels. Other side. Beautiful. And back to the center for another little exploration with the head and neck. And back into the center. Alrighty. We're going to connect to our breath and clear through our lung meridian now. So we're going to bring our hands into this formation. Yeah. Our lung meridian starts under the collarbone and travels down the arm, ending in the thumb. So that's why we're going to hold this position during the next movement. So as we breathe in, we step to the left and we open to the heavens above us. And as we breathe out, we return to the center and we open to the earth underneath us. And then we repeat on the right. We breathe in, we open to the skies, breathe out in the center, opening to the earth. Beautiful. We just keep going side to side. Breathing in, opening to the skies, breathing out in the center, opening to the earth. Lovely. And you can find your own pace, your own rhythm of movement and breath. You don't have to keep pace with myself or anyone else. It's your body, it's your practice. And it's up to you if you breathe in and out through the nose or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Cool. Let's do one more on each side. Lovely. Alrighty. The next little practice that we're going to do is called Wei Qi. Works with our protective Qi layers. So first of all, we'll just give our hands a little rub together and start to feel the heat come in here between the hands. And then I invite you to gently just hold your hands a little bit apart. And what can you feel here between your hands? There might be a heat, there might be a sort of sense of, you can feel the heat. There might be a sort of magnetism here between your hands. This is your Qi. How cool is that? This is your energy right here. I think that's amazing. I love sharing this little feeling. So this is what we're going to be working with, the Qi around us. Yeah? So we're going to bring our hands to our toes, or as close as we can get. You can bend the knees to get there. And we're going to rise our hands along the surface of our body all the way up to the heart. And we bend the knees, widen our arms out beside us. Scoop back into the heart. And we rise through the knees as our hands rise over the head. And we go down the back of the body, back down to the heels, where we start again at the toes. Yeah? So rising up the body to the heart. Bend and widen. Scoop it in. Rise. And down the back. Beautiful. We just keep going. Rising up to the heart. Bend and widen. Scooping it in. Rising over the head and down the back. Beautiful. And once again, you find your own rhythm, your own movement. your own pace of movement, allowing your breath to flow however it likes. And the beauty of this form is that you don't have to get the movement 100% correct, because it's not really about that. Here, we're working more with our intention. So we're going to bring in that intention, and it is to cleanse and clear through our entire physical being. So cleansing and clearing through every cell, every atom, every molecule that makes up our physical body. And just a reminder that if you need to, you can sit down, and you can do this form sitting down too. You can even do it in your mind's eye if you want to. So we're cleansing and clearing through every inch of muscle tissue, organ tissue, skin, bones, fascia, clearing through all of our blood, all of our waters, clearing through our 5 senses, clearing away any blockages, any stagnant qi, stale energy, clearing away anything that has wriggled its way into our physical being that doesn't belong here. And clearing any resistance that we may have, conscious or unconscious, of living in our most vibrant and bountiful health. And on your next round, I invite you to move your hands off the surface of the body and into the Qi field. So this time it's the same movement pathway, but our hands are off the surface. Yeah, beautiful, everyone. And now we are cleansing and clearing through all of our Qi layers. Clearing through our emotional body, our mental body, our spiritual body. Clearing through our entire energetic self. Clearing any blockages, any stagnant qi, anything that shouldn't be here from these planes of our existence. Letting go of any attachments to people, places, and things that no longer serve us. Letting go of any patterns of behavior and ways of being that no longer serve us. Releasing any expectations that we hold up to ourselves, that we hold up to other people, and even those expectations that society holds up to us. If these expectations aren't in alignment with the highest good of all, we can let it go. And unshouldering any baggage that isn't ours to carry. We don't have to pick that back up. And untethering any energetic cords that have found themselves attached to us from thoughts, feelings, situations, or people that are draining us of our vital life force. Claiming that vital life force back for ourselves. Oh, yeah. And all these things that are being cleansed and cleared from our physical and energetic selves, these are being dissolved and sent straight to the edge of the universe, where they can be immediately transmuted into love, into light, into pure health, so that we can access our highest possible healing that's available for us today at a pace that feels comfortable, easeful, maybe even delicious. Activating our system's own innate natural healing ability. Now that we've got this extra little spaciousness around and within us, I invite you to fill yourself up with whatever it is you wish to be bathing in tonight, whether that be unconditional love, radical acceptance, clarity, strength, kindness, gentleness, fun. It can even be something more tangible, like a really good latte, or whatever it is you wish to be bathing in. Fill yourself up with some goodness. So anything you want, need, and desire. Last few rounds. And for these very last few rounds, I invite you to bring in a little protective layer around the outside of your chi field, and it can be made up of whatever you want. It could be spiky, it can be like a shield of armor, whatever it is. And this protective layer only lets the good things come into your field, into your body, and anything that's not going to be good for you is going to slide right on off. And let your next round be your final one. When you're ready, returning to stillness, to what we call Wu Qi. And once again, I invite you to close down your eyes or keep your gaze low and soft, and check back in with the sensations that you noticed in your body at the beginning of our practice about half an hour ago. Are those sensations present in the same way like they were? Maybe there's been a shift within you. Sometimes the shifts can be quite small and sometimes they can feel quite big. So just noticing what's alive again here in your body. And then widening your awareness again beyond your skin to your chi field. Noticing what's present here for you now in this space. Perhaps you're more aware of it. Maybe it feels bigger, maybe fizzy. Maybe the color changed after you just filled it up with some unconditional love and really good lattes. And gently letting that awareness go can give your limbs a little shake. We've been standing for quite a while. And I thought we would do some metal forms today as we are creeping towards autumn, and autumn is associated with the element of metal in traditional Chinese medicine. So we're going to bring one hand up to lung height with our fingertips pointing to the sky, and the other hand is in our lower belly with our fingertips pointing downwards. Beautiful. Now we're just going to be here in this position for a moment. And in the West, metal isn't really an element that we connect with very often. But in the East, in Eastern medicine, it is quite common. And the metal element is a really good teacher of helping us figure out what is our sacred yes, what is our sacred no, how we can let go of what's no longer serving us. And each element has certain organs attached to it. And the organs associated with metal are the lungs and the large intestine. So these organs are naturally beginning to clear themselves at this time of year as we tiptoe towards autumn. So by doing Qi Gong forms to support these organs, to support the metal element, We're really giving our respiratory system and our large intestine a boost. Let's swap the hands over. So just noticing how being in this very simple standing posture or still posture, you may be seated, how this feels for you. What is this bringing up for you in your body? Sensations, physical ones, maybe a particular emotion is rising for you, or maybe a particular thought keeps repeating. Noticing how metal feels for you, those precious metals and even crystals. I'm going to let that go. Give the hands a little bit of a shake out. We're going to move on to a little bit of a movement form now, which is going to support our lungs in particular. So we start at the bottom and we breathe in, rising our hands up to just below the collarbone. And as we breathe out, we turn the palms down and press back down to the earth with a little bend in the knees if you're standing. So we're breathing in, rising through the knees, rising the hands up to the top of the lungs, breathing out, pressing down. Beautiful. Breathing in and down. Once again, finding your own pace of movement and breath here, really honoring your body. What feels good for you? Breathing in as we rise, out as we descend. Really drawing in that beautiful fresh oxygen, releasing any of the unnecessary CO2 that our body doesn't need. And here we're drawing that fresh chi, that fresh energy up from the earth into our lungs as we breathe in. You can imagine it as a light or a mist if you like. And as we breathe out, we're releasing and letting go of any of that stagnant, stale chi that may be stuck in our lungs. Really supporting our lungs to function at their absolute best. And if at any point you feel like you want to pause, you absolutely can. You can just rest in stillness, and you can either do the form in your mind's eye and follow with just the breath, or you can just rest completely and come back to the form whenever you are ready. You know your bodies better than I do, so it's important you listen to your body and the cues that it gives you. We're going to add on to this form. So as we breathe up to the lungs, this time we're going to turn the palms forward and press out in front of us. And then breathe in again, coming back to the top of the lungs, pressing down to the earth. Beautiful. So breathing in, rising, Breathing out, pressing forward. Breathing in, back to the lungs. Breathing out, pressing down. Beautiful. We just continue. This time we're not only drawing up that very nourishing qi from the earth, we're also drawing in qi from what we call the wider qi, the qi that's all around us, also known as source energy. It's very pure, clean, crisp, rejuvenating qi that we're drawing in from the wider qi. Noticing what's present for you as we work through this form. There may be physical sensations, emotions. Our lungs can hold on to stuck or unprocessed grief. So if any of that is arriving for you, it's okay. Just allow yourself to feel what you feel. Take a pause if you need to. Few more rounds. Next time you breathe out, pressing down to the earth, let that be your final one. Beautiful. I'm going to do one more movement form before we come to rest. So we're going to bring our hands up to our lungs, and you can bring them just off the surface. So here, once again, we're really tuning in with the lungs. We're going to do a form called the bellows. So as we breathe in, our arms widen out beside us. And as we breathe out, they're going to come in and close. Yeah. So we breathe in, we widen. Breathe out, we contract. Lovely. Once again, finding a pace of movement and breath that feels good for you. I'm all about this being super easeful, so you don't have to open your arms super wide if that's not comfortable for you. So here we're really working with that idea of expansion and contraction. When precious metals and crystals are formed deep within the earth, they go through that process of expansion and contraction over and over and over again until they create that beautiful metal or that beautiful crystal. And so we're doing that here within our own system, our own body, our own energy, in this constant refinement process here with the breath and the simple movement. Refining our own qi, bringing in that sense of clarity to our entire being. Just a reminder that if you need to pause, you can do so and just rest in the stillness. Do the form in your mind's eye if you need to. Few more rounds. You're doing so well. And next time you breathe out, let that be your final one. Gently letting go of the arms, giving our little limbs a bit of a shake. And here is where I invite you to either lay down wherever is comfy, on your bed, on the floor, wherever you are, or you can stay seated if that's more comfortable for you. I'm just going to take some time to rest and integrate, so you can close your eyes as you are either seated or laying down. And as we rest here, just allowing the qi that we cultivated in our practice today to percolate and integrate into our whole body, our whole self, going to where it's needed to go the most for our optimal health and healing. And gently becoming aware of my voice again, as I invite you to take 7 deep, full breaths, filling your whole body with breath. 7 breaths. And when you have finished those 7 breaths, you can either stay where you are, laying down or seated. If you are laying down, you may wish to roll onto your side and bring yourself into a seated position. Doesn't matter, as long as you're comfortable. And as we continue to rest here, in whichever position we have chosen, I invite you to drop your awareness out from your legs and tailbone and send it deep, deep, deep and wide into the earth underneath you, spreading like the roots of a great tree. Connecting in here with the never-ending nourishment of Mother Earth, her unconditional support. And gently rising that awareness back up through all the layers of the earth, passing the precious metals and crystals there, coming back into the body through the legs and the tailbone, and gently rising up the trunk of us, passing the belly button, the solar plexus, the heart, rising into the neck, the head, and finally out of the crown of the head, where our awareness continues to rise high, high, high and wide into the sky, so high that the tips of our branches can touch the stars. Tuning in here with our own sense of divinity, our higher selves, to source, the Tao, whatever name you wish to give it. And let's bring our hands onto our hearts, where these two dualities, these two polarities come together here in our hearts, the earth and the heavens, their natural meeting place here, where they come together in divine union, reminding us that when the dualities of life come together, they create that sense of wholeness, of oneness, of harmony, the light and the dark, yin yang, heaven and earth. Let's take 3 breaths here, widening through the back and the front ribs, expanding our capability to give and receive love today. 3 breaths. And gently bringing our hands into what we call the Gung Bao, which is the right hand into a light fist here at the heart, and the left hand into crescent moon, cupping the right. We bow the head, and we give thanks to ourselves for showing up to practice tonight. And we give thanks for Look Good, Feel Better for hosting this amazing way for us to practice together from all over the place. We give thanks to the teacher, to the teacher's teachers, but most of all, we give thanks to the greatest teacher within ourselves. Blessings from my heart to yours. I'm so grateful for your presence and your practice with me this evening.